here at Mandalay Bay, the resort and casino, where the first big fight of 2018 will be Garcia, Rios. Gilberto Monsanto, beat writer for the Review Journal, Brian Salmon, and this is Premier Vegas Sports Boxing Edition. And first of all, we got a chance to see the main event fighters. They worked out today. Both of them look pretty good in my opinion. What did you think about the guys who were inside the ring here today?
I think Danny Garcia looks pretty relaxed, calm. You know, he's coming off of his first career loss with Keith Thurman, so usually when you get a first loss, you're like, you know, what's next? But I think Danny's very confident. I think he says he's the biggest star in the welterweight division, even with Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, and Crawford and Horn. So, you know, a guy to be that confident after a loss is a good sign for him. And for Brandon, he looks in shape. He's kind of been out of the fight game for a couple of years. He was known for a guy to be, you know, missing weight, you know, eating McDonald's. He's told me before, but doesn't look drained. Looks confident. He said he's not a cherry, so a wild cherry. I think he told you that. So I think I'm excited for this main event. It could be some surprise there with Brandon.
I think it should be good. Earlier, I got a chance to talk with Brandon and Danny Swift Garcia. Here's what we got from that interview. The first big fight in Las Vegas in 2018, you in the main event. It's got to feel good to be back in Vegas and finally, you know, be a main event fighter back here in the fight capital of the world.
Oh, it feels good. I got two of my greatest victories here against Lucas Matisse, Amir Khan. I was the underdog in both fights, came out on top. And it's something about Vegas where it just wakes me up.
You and Danny Garcia, I mean, this is a can't-miss fight, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely, because Danny Garcia is not a runner. He's a fighter, and I'm also a fighter. So it's going to be a tremendous fight and all that, but he got a chip on his shoulder that he wants to prove. He wants the title back, and I got a chip on my shoulder that I want to show everybody that I'm not done yet and I'm not a cherry. So I'm ready.
All right, for the co-main event, they also came in here and worked out, and the guys look pretty good. You had a nice article that you wrote up on Ronald Gavriel that you should definitely read at reviewjournal.com. But as far as the fighters, when they came in here and worked out, how did you think they looked in their workouts?
I think they both look great. This is a rematch, so guys are going to be adjusting from the first fight, and I was really excited. I was actually excited for this rematch because the first one was so good. It was a fight of the year contender, I thought. But we don't know because Benavidez is the stronger, you know, faster, younger puncher. But Ronald, he's sturdy. He doesn't go down. He takes a punch and he comes to fight. So it could go either two ways. Either Benavidez early knockout or Ronald just giving Benavidez a hard fight for 12 rounds. And when you get to the judges in Las Vegas, you never know what could happen.
Well, something that was nice that Gilbert got a chance to speak to Ronald Gavriel and David Benavidez, and here's a look from his interview.
How's kind of life been different with that green belt? You know, probably the most notable boxing belt for you to kind of walk around, people taking pictures. That kind of been weird or different? Are you okay with that?
You know, it's been really good. You know, it's all the sacrifice and hard work, determination. You know, and it humbles me even more.
Ronald, how do you feel about this big fight? You got a full camp this time.
Man, I feel great, and my training camp was very well. I got the 10 weeks, and before the first fight, I got only 5 weeks, 4 weeks, like that. And now I feel more better. My training camp was very well, and I'm ready to win.
You did very well in the interview, I must say so myself.
You're trying to be like you.
There you go. All right, so now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. This is the big portion of the show. We need to do our picks. I'm going to go with you first. Co-main event. Who do you have? Do you have Gavriel or do you have Benavidez?
It's kind of easy to say David Benavidez. You know, as we mentioned, he's the younger, stronger puncher. But I'll say it's a tough fight. Like the first one, it goes 12 rounds. I said David gets a unanimous decision, and Ronald, we'll see him again, but I think David is his fight.
Will there be any knockdowns in this fight?
Oh, yeah. I'll say David gets a couple on Ronald, and this time Ronald won't knock down David, like the first fight.
You know what? I'd like to disagree and say that I see the fight going differently, but I actually see the fight going exactly the same way that you have it going. I think it will be a decision, but a split decision like the first fight, and I think it will be a tough fight, although I don't see any knockdowns in this fight. I think it's going to be a very good fight. All right, getting to the main event, Danny Swift Garcia against Brandon Bam Bam Rios, Wild Cherry. How do you have this fight going?
Another surprise here. I know people are counting out the cherry, Brandon Rios. I know he doesn't like that, but I think Brandon will go. I think he'll make it 12 rounds. I know, you know, Garcia has that left hook that can knock out people, but I think Brandon looks motivated. He's in shape, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a brawler, so I'll go with Garcia 12 rounds, but I think Brandon will bring it. I'll say Danny by UD also.
Okay, by UD. Any knockdowns in this fight?
I'll say 1 for Danny Garcia on Brandon Rios. Yes.
Okay. I can see this fight going a completely different way. I think that Danny is really motivated to have a good fight, a good showing. He's back in Las Vegas, getting his name back out there. Says that he only won the fight twice this year. And he wants to get a title back. I think that he's going to have one of his best fights to date. I think he knocks him down maybe 3 times, and he gets a stoppage in like the 11th round. Danny Swift Garcia with a TD, not a UD. in like the 11th, 12th round. What do you think about that?
Hey, I like it. A late stoppage, I'm all for that.
There you go. Gilberto Manzano, the beat writer for boxing for the Review Journal, Brian Salmon, and this is Premier Vegas Sports Boxing Edition.